Hi guys, my name is Patrice. Welcome to my channel. We'll be discussing things I've read, and now let's get started. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about two series written by African Americans, and they are cozy mysteries. So if you know anything about me, if you've been watching these videos, you know cozy mysteries are my favorite, and I've really been on a hunt to find cozies written by African Americans. There was one series that I read a while ago by Barbara Neely, and it's the Blanche on the Lamb series, and those were really good. She only has 4 books in that series because she died a while ago. Well, I guess not a while ago, like 2001, I think she passed away. So unfortunately, we are not going to get any more books in that series, but it was a good series, like full of like cultural references that if you're African American that you would understand and get, and just like it gave like a little bit of history in the books as well. So I really enjoyed that series. So now, like I said, I've been on the hunt to find more cozies by African Americans, and I did find 2 series at my local library. Now I don't know why, but these are in paperbacks, and usually the cozies that I get are hardcovers, but to find these authors I had to go to the paperback section. So the first series is the Spice Isle Bakery series, and it's written by Olivia Matthews, and the first book that I read in the series is The Hard Dough Homicide. And the overview: Spice Isle Bakery owner Lindsay Murray regrets agreeing to host the retirement dinner for local high school principal Emily Smith. 6 guests arrive for the celebration, but only 5 survive. It's not long before the police are knocking on Spice Isle's door, bringing the Murray family back into the heart of another murder investigation. So this is the second book in the series. In the first one, Lindsay was accused of murder, and so she had to get herself out of that trouble. And now in the second book, her mom is being accused of murdering her former boss, who was the principal. So I love the Murray characters, like the Murray family. So it's Lindsay's mom and dad, her brother, and her grandmother, and they all go into business to open this restaurant. And I love the Caribbean culture and food and just like the vibes that they give off in the book. There was a lot of repetitive writing. Like she repeated like the description of the characters every time you saw them again. So for instance, like they would describe Lindsay on page 2, and then if Lindsay shows up again on page 10, she would get described again. Like every time the principal showed up in the story, she would describe her over and over, which made it like a little bit repetitive, and I just felt like she could have given us some more information or like some better plot points. And the mystery wasn't like that intriguing. Like they didn't give like a good reason for why this principal was murdered. I mean, not that there is ever a good reason for murder, but usually, in these kind of books, it's usually love, revenge, money, and that's why you're killed. They kind of stuck to that, but like the mystery wasn't like a mystery. It just wasn't that intriguing. I didn't like the wrap up for the ending of the story, and I don't want to give the ending away, but it was, Lindsay was put in a situation where it was kind of easy to get out of. And, I want my mysteries to have a little bit more intensity, I suppose. And then there were like a few unbelievable things. Like most of this story is focused around like a high school, like the high school principal is murdered. So most of the suspects and things are going to be people that she worked with. So it was just like not believable that Lindsay would be able to get in and talk to all of these people because she doesn't work at the school. She doesn't have any kids there. She's not a high schooler herself, and she was always like in the building. And the schools I know, like, you can't just walk in there. Like, you got to have like a pass, or you have to have some sort of reason to be there. But overall, I gave this book a 3.5 stars. The next book in the Spice Isle mystery series was Coconut Drop Dead. And in this story, Brooklyn's annual Caribbean American Heritage Festival is finally here, and Spice Isle Bakery is thrilled to be a vendor. Co-owner Lindsay Murray hopes their West Indian pastries and finger foods draw people back to her bakery. Things take a turn when Camille, lead singer of an up-and-coming reggae band, dies. The police think it's an accident, but Lindsay's cousin Manny, who is close to Camille, thinks someone killed her. Manny wants Lindsay's help looking into the crime. So this book I enjoyed much better than Hardo Homicide. Like this one, the plot was way better. There was still like some repetitive phrases and things, just like, when Lindsay like sees so Lindsay and the detective have a thing that they're either trying to develop or the author is trying to develop, and their banter isn't that good. But she always describes, like, oh, the fine detective, and oh, why am I thinking about him so much? Like, and it's like over and over, like every time she sees him, and it's like, okay. And in this story, the police actually asked Lindsay to help them, which is way unbelievable. Like, why would they ask a civilian to help them solve this mystery? Like, I guess that's, that's a way to keep the mysteries going, like the series going, by them asking her for help. But nobody, they're not going to do that, not in real life. So you have to suspend some, like some knowledge, like that's not going to happen in real life. So you just have to take it with a grain of salt that they're asking her to help. And even though they asked her to help, like, she's still, like, you would think she would show up and be dressed for the part to help the police. No, she's showing up in like her work clothes. I don't know like why anyone would take her seriously and answer any of her questions. It doesn't make any sense, but that's okay. I guess you just have to go with it for the sake of the story. In this book, you could tell right away who the guilty person was. Like right away, you knew who it was going to be at the end. But like I said, I did enjoy this book much better than Hardo Homicide, so I gave this one a 4-star rating. So the next series that I found, written by an African American author, was The Body in, actually no, it's the name of the mystery series is the Books and Biscuits mystery series. And the author of the series is Abby Collette. And the first book that I read in the series was Body and Soul Food. And again, I got this from the library and in the paperback section. And the overview is: reunited twin siblings Kobe Hill and Keaton Rutledge have teamed up to open a bookstore and soul food cafe. Things take a turn when Kobe's foster brother is murdered right before opening day. The twins decide two heads are better than one and set out to find the killer. So, of course, I like this because, again, it's cozy mystery, African American characters. We don't get too many of them in this genre, so it's nice, when you can find an author that is writing these mysteries. And the characters, I like the characters. I like Mama Zola. I like who was Kobe's foster mom. I like Keaton's adopted mom. I liked her. And this book, they have recipes included. So if you're a foodie and you like reading mysteries that include recipes, this is a good one to get. The things that I didn't enjoy so much. So Kobe's foster brother, he wasn't really a part of the story. He didn't work with them. They didn't really introduce him. He didn't really have a big part of the story or their lives. So it was hard to be invested in finding out who killed him because it kind of didn't make any sense other than that he was Kobe's foster brother. Keaton, I didn't really care for her. She wasn't too smart. I don't know, and then she ended up turning into the main character kind of, and the main sleuth, but she made a lot of dumb decisions. So I ended up giving this a 4.5, but now as I talk about it and think about it, I'm going to give it a 4. So 4 stars for this one. So the next book in this series was called Soul of a Killer. This is the second installment in the Books and Biscuits series. Twins Keaton and Kobe are trying to run their bookstore and soul food cafe, but have to switch to amateur sleuths when Mama Zola, Kobe's foster mother, and Pete, an employee of the bookstore, are under suspicion of murder. So again, recipes are included in this book as well. This one, there are a lot more suspects, so a lot of red herrings and trying to figure out, who had a hand in this mystery and who didn't. This book was slightly annoying just because there were a lot of editing mistakes. So there were a lot of misspelled words and the sentence structures were off. I just wish it was looked over during the editing process with a much keener eye. It just made it frustrating trying to read it because, I'm one of those readers when, if I see something like that, I'm like, oh, that's wrong. Oh, it should have been this. I haven't graduated to the stage where I send in forms or anything to the publishing company, because I know some people do that, but yeah, it just makes it harder to read the books. And this one, again, Keaton was sort of the focus of the sleuthing, and like I said, she's not very bright. She just misses obvious things, and I would love to see more input from Kobe, her brother. They're supposed to be a team, and I want to know more of what he's thinking, and I want to see him solve a mystery. So I ended up giving this one a 3.5. So that's the end of this video. I really enjoy finally finding some cozy mysteries written by African American authors. Please let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books or if you're thinking about giving them a try. And let me know if you found any other cozy mysteries by African American authors. Give me some titles and recs. Again, thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.